Hello again. This video is going to be my bookish, vaguely in some cases, Christmas haul. I did pretty good this year. I don't tend to get as many books, like actual books nowadays, because my family has started to realize that if they come across a book that they think I will read, while they are probably correct, because I'll read practically anything, if I'm interested in owning it, I likely already do. So they usually refrain from buying me actual books, and I get a lot of book adjacent things. I do still get some books, like specific special books, which you'll see. But yeah, let's jump right in. My first item is, again, like book lady adjacent. My little sister picked this out for me, which is why I do want to show it off, even though it's not specifically related to books. It is an incredibly accurate t-shirt that just says, I just want all the cats. Which, yeah, I got a job at an animal shelter and adopted a new cat started in April. The cat came in like 2 days after I started, and I took him home in May. So yeah, what can I say? My sister knows me super well. Let's see, next one. Let's stick with the clothing while we're at it. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law got me a very, very pretty, like, I don't know, my lighting's really bad right now because it's nighttime after I've gotten off of work. But the detail in this is just gorgeous. Some of this print is actually like glittery gold, like an actual antiquarian like book print. It is an infinity scarf. It's gorgeous. I love it. I want to wear it everywhere. I want to wear it to work, which is a problem because I don't want to get my work germs all over it. But it is from, I actually didn't check, I'm assuming it's an Etsy artist, called the Dimple Cheek Boutique. I love that name. And it's the perfect, like, right between lightweight and heavier kind of thing, and you can wear it loose, or obviously, you know how infinity scarves work, you just wrap it as much as you want. It's like perfect is what I'm saying here. And I love it. And then while we're sticking with apparel, my wonderful, wonderful friend, who also happens to be the mother of my younger brother and sister, picked me up a Harry Potter sock advent calendar. This has been the first pair of socks. I love it. It's adorable. I'm actually a day behind, so I'm gonna go ahead and open one. Let's see what I get. A day behind since I got this. Anyway, this cardboard is like reinforced. Please don't tell me I have to call my husband to open this. Here we go. Is this the sorting hat? It's the sorting hat. I'm easily pleased. Anyway, moving on. For the record, this feels incredibly awkward to me, but I've seen other booktubers doing like haul type things, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Also, I like bragging about how awesome my friends and family are and how well they know me, so you know. Some super cute magnetic bookmarks from my mother and father-in-law. My husband picked me up. This was a stocking stuffer. Super cute Harry Potter sticky notes. And I've got the trio and Dumbledore on them, and then a little Hogwarts, and then the crest. And I have already used them. They're so cute. I can't help myself. I love them. Also from my husband, He got me Harry Potter Funkoverse Game. Every time we go to a convention, or every time he goes to a convention, sometimes even if I'm not with him, he picks me up a Harry Potter Funko. They're the only Funkos I will allow myself to collect, because otherwise my house would be overrun. So this is like a cute little thing between us, and it also helps because I don't do multiplayer gaming. I have a complex where in competitive games, I know myself, I get overly competitive, I start hating other people, then I start wondering if they hate me, and that sends me in a spiral. So no go there. Even in co-op multiplayer games, I start worrying that I am so bad I'm bringing my teammate down and they must hate me because I suck so much. I'm getting a therapist, guys. I'm sure I'll work all this out eventually, but he has gotten me other like two-person playable co-op games before, like the other Harry Potter deck building game that I can't remember, Hogwarts Battle. And we've played that one and been totally fine. So I'm looking forward to trying this. Maybe he can ease me into being a multiplayer game player. Yeah. Moving on. All right, to actual books now. First up, and this is actually, I think, more of a gift for my husband because he's the like Hershey person. But I'm the one that cooks and bakes in this family. So from his dad and stepmom, it is a Hershey Cookbook. It's like super retro and I love it. I love this cover, everything about it. It's so old school and it's just amazing. And then on the inside, like even the pictures that go with the recipes have like this is a rotary phone. I haven't seen one of those since the last time I was in my great-grandmother's house. These are just straight up all super old school Hershey recipes and I'm so excited to try them. I really fell off baking over the past couple of years and I don't know why because I love it a lot, so hopefully this will help me get back into that. This is also from my father-in-law. He somehow managed to find a Neil Gaiman box set with literally every single one of my favorite Neil Gaiman books, and I don't own a physical copy of any of them. This is like the fates aligned to create this and make it happen. I don't get it, don't understand how it's possible, but I'm grateful and it's beautiful and I love it, and I'm gonna read all four again this year for the millionth time each. Stardust especially is like, that was one of the first non-Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings fantasies I ever read. That book holds a very special place in my heart. And I feel the need to reread American Gods now that the show is going to now that the show is falling apart. I really want to revisit the source material and remember why I love it so much. I actually stopped watching the show in the first season and I'm very glad for that. Now from my own dad, he got me this book right here, Built of Books, How Reading Defined the Life of Oscar Wilde, which is super cool. I really love books about reading, and books about authors, and this somehow encapsulates all of that. Also Oscar Wilde's cool. But yeah, it's like kind of a biography, kind of not. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm gonna try and fit it into a challenge this year. My next video is about the challenges I'm doing for 2020. Guys, I'm crazy. The next book, and this one is super cool. He, again, from my dad, and he actually texted me about this several months ago. He went to a, what's it called? An estate sale. And he always, when he finds these cool like leather bound books, he knows I really love them, so he'll send me pictures, or he'll text me like a random list of authors and ask me if there's anyone I'm interested in. And this time, this is a copy of Maya Angelou's All God's Children Need Traveling Shoes. The really cool thing, look at this end paper. Oh, it's so pretty. The really cool thing about this book, aside from the obvious, is that it is signed by Maya Angelou. This is apparently from some club or something. It is a limited first edition that has been privately printed and personally signed exclusively for members of the Signed First Edition Society. I need to find out what this thing is and how to join, if it still exists, because I want more of this, please. Thank you. If I have to get rich to join somehow, I'll figure it out. It'll all work out, right? That's how life's supposed to work. This is from my husband. This is kind of the gimme gift every year since they started publishing these. He's gotten me all of them so far. So of course this year had to get the illustrated Goblet of Fire to go with all the rest of them. This thing is a brick, which, you know, is to be expected. The regular Goblet of Fire is also a brick, and this one's illustrated, but like, it's a little intimidating almost. If it wasn't Harry Potter, a story I know that I love and could never actually be intimidated by, I would be afraid of it. But I love Jim Kay's art so much. I'm trying to get not reflected on these pages. I love these so much. I can't stop staring at it. Also from my husband, because he spoils me, he did get me a Kobo. This was purchased on Black Friday. I had a say in what I wanted. I'd been wanting to replace my Nook for a while because it's getting old and Barnes & Noble is not super reliable at this point. So this was a gift that I knew I was getting, and I got it early, and I've been using it since before Christmas. But it was my big gift this year, and I am very grateful for it. I've already decorated the back with stickers because I'm that monster. And then from myself, I did order a Kobo cover from Books Art Liberty on Etsy, and it's again Harry Potter because I can't help myself, and it's adorable. It's a little zippered cushioned pouch. It seems like it wouldn't provide that much protection to your e-reader because it's just fabric, but it's actually really well padded. I have dropped it with the Kobo inside, and it's totally fine. So I really like it, and I use it constantly. If I'm not reading the thing, it's in the case. And then the last thing isn't bookish per se, but it pertains to the other part of my username, the Wicked. When I first started a Tumblr way back when, I named it The Wicked Bookworm because I wanted it to be a blog about obviously books and reading, but I also at the time was starting to explore my interest in like pagan belief systems. At the time I was leaning more towards Wicca. Nowadays that's probably not as accurate, but one thing that I have consistently been interested in is tarot. My dad got me this. I actually sent him a picture from Barnes & Noble a while back of the regular box, gushing about how gorgeous the artwork was, and he found a limited special edition deluxe box set because he's ridiculous and goes over the top. But yeah, it's the Starman Tarot, the David Bowie tarot deck. Look how like huge this thing is. It's the size of my head, guys. It's the size of my head. And inside we have this little card in front that tells me mine is number 2526 out of 3,000 copies of this thing ever made, which is really cool. It kind of drives home that limited part of the limited deluxe special edition. It also comes with a little booklet of like the story of how the artist, obviously David Bowie did not create this, the artist who did a lot of David Bowie's album art and all of that kind of thing. That is the person who made this deck. He based this deck off of the art that he produced for David Bowie. So there's a little booklet explaining the story, the concept, basically how this thing came into being. And then there is, of course, the book that tells you how to use the cards and all their meanings and everything like that. There's a little bit of, again, the story with each card. So like the idea behind it, how he came up with the concept for each card. My phone is dying, apparently. And then the cards themselves. Here is what the backs look like. That's the alien calligraphy that's used on David Bowie stuff. And then I don't really have words for how this artwork makes me feel. It's like, it has elements of graphic design, obviously, but also like, I don't even know. I don't have words. Like street art, avant-garde. There's even some elements of like classical art in some of these, and I literally gasped and was speechless when I opened this and started flipping through them. They're gold edged because of course they are. Let's see, let me find you my my birth card. Fun fact is the star. So let me pull that out. I have not shuffled these yet, so they're all still in order. It'll only take me a second. Except because they're new, they all stick together. Here we go. So yeah, like I cannot get over how beautiful these are. And I just, oh, every time I look at them, like I get chills, and I'm just in awe that something like this can exist, like that a person can come up with these kinds of designs and anything this beautiful and then put it on paper. Like, it blows my mind. Probably, obviously, at this point, I am not a super creative person, at least not in like an artistic way. So yeah, anything, pretty much, if you can draw anything beyond a stick figure, I think you're the most amazing artist in the world. But this stuff is like on a whole other level. Even I can understand that, and I just love it. I love it. It's probably, aside from like my books and reading items, it's probably one of my favorite gifts that I got this year. And it's going to occupy a very revered place somewhere on these shelves. I'm gonna have to reorganize them, but I'll get around to it. Anyway, that's it. I am very grateful to all of the people who got me Christmas gifts. If you're watching this video, thank you again. I know I thanked you profusely in person and you're probably wishing I would shut up, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate it. If you celebrate a different holiday, I hope that was wonderful as well. I'm gonna throw a shout out to the Jewish community. There were a lot of anti-Semitic attacks over Hanukkah, and I just want you guys to know that I love you and it's not okay, and I hope you and your families are all doing okay now. Please feel free to reach out. These words probably sound hollow, but if you need to reach out and talk to somebody who isn't connected to a situation, I know sometimes that helps me a lot. Talking to internet strangers has gotten me through some pretty tough times in my life, so if you need an internet stranger, I'm always here for you. Have a good night.